Hello students, this is our first thumbnail exploration for the word terror in our figure emotion project. So those are the results. Here is the video. So I usually just go through, I write the word down, and I'm just going to start with a red brush pen. This is a Pentel brush pen. I just like the tips, and I also like the ink that it has. Notice that I'm keeping these figures pretty blocky, pretty simple. This is sped up quite a bit, but it's not sped up too much. I think it's just 2 times speed. So I'm thinking about the arms raising up, kind of like trying to stop or put a hand towards whatever they're scared of. Hands up on the head. Body kind of leaning back. This ends up being one of the ones I like, one of the best out of all of them. And what you want to do is just think about different poses. Think about different ways to try and show that emotion through the body language. You have them doing different things. And I usually just do a whole row of one kind of media. So here I'm just using this red brush pen. I'm going to do this first row with that. And then after I finish that row, I'll switch to something new. So I usually can fit about 6 to 7 in a row. These are about 2 inches. You can draw some lines or some boxes if that helps to kind of get it set up. But this is about all I can fit in there. So we'll do one more. Since we're at 6, we get one more, 7. And I'm trying just different poses. If it helps, stand up. Try to make some poses with your body. Try to understand things that are happening when you're trying to do that. So here is a different kind of marker. This is just, cheap Target 10 set of different markers. Some of the colors in this, I was doing this late at night. So I have a very yellow light. So this is purple, but it doesn't look very purple because of that. This one I ended up liking quite a bit as well. So as you go through, you're going to see some that you like, some that maybe feel more like something. I don't recommend, going through and trying to find poses online to try and draw. Maybe do that for 1 or 2 and then start to maybe make your own decisions based off of that pose. Comic books are a good source. Different kind of things like that, I think, can kind of give you those exaggerated pose, graphic novels, stuff like that. But you want to keep it fairly, loose, gestural. There's not necessarily wrong answers. Notice how scratchy these all are. They're not nice, pretty finished drawings. I feel like I usually get close to a really good finish when I get about at the end of the whole thumbnailing exercise and I've hit number 60. Then I'm like, I could do 5 more pages of this and it would be easy. But seeing as I only do this once a year, it's tricky. You're warming up. And that's the idea of doing 20. There's going to be a couple good ones, but most of them are going to be throwaway ideas. Some of them just don't work. If you have a pose that you really like, take parts of that pose and redo it. If you like the upper body of one pose and the lower body of another pose, put those 2 together. Try putting those together. Don't spend tons of time on these. Really, I think in the idea, if you are spending 4 minutes, 5 minutes on a thumbnail, that's too long. This last pen, this is a watercolor pen. So it has a brush tip also, but this has like liquid ink in it. So it is a lot thicker. It flows a little bit more. It's more wet than these other ones. So it gives me a different type of mark as I'm going through. These last ones, I was almost thinking instead of terror as in they're scared of something that's just next to them, these last guys, I almost feel like they ended up being terrified by themselves or by what was happening. So this guy's like popped his head off. The one before that, maybe he's missing a limb. So these are maybe kind of like terrified zombie people or something. I don't know. But you're just flowing through with different ideas. At this stage, there is no wrong answers. As long as you're coming up with 20 solutions, you're doing your job. And you want to just kind of try to figure out some different movements. Think about, what does the figure look from the side? What does it look like from the front? Rotate that pose. Think about moving around. You might have a great pose, but if you did the same pose and tried to turn it 90 degrees, what does it look like? And does that make it better? You never know for sure. So I have 7 on the top row, 7 on the second row, and I'm only going to have 6. This bottom row ended up being kind of big, in my opinion. So kind of vibing off one of the earlier ones for this one and maybe kind of try to do it a little bit more curvy and different. That's about all of these. So now I'm going to just go through and number these. This is the first set. I need to do 2 more of these. So I'll have 60 total, and then we'll pick the best to go to the roughs. And that's what we'll do during our next class. So thanks for watching this. Here are the solutions, kind of in a little bit better view, and we'll see you next time.